Well, hello, everybody. I'm so glad to see you all here today for our second session on sleep. You know, sleep is, there's a whole bunch of people coming in right now, just as I was starting. Oh, yeah, admit, hello, everybody. We're just getting started. I'm so happy that you're all here to talk about this super important topic. We are joining. See my presentation, hopefully. All right, we can get going. Second part on our sleep presentation. And last time we were together, we talked about morning routines and, what sleep meant and how we're all deprived. We are all deprived of our sleep, and inadequate sleep quantity and quality is a major problem for so many of us. Not only does it leave us feeling in a bad mood, it is also detrimental. I'm trying to get everybody in here. It's also detrimental to our overall health. So poor sleep can lead to everything from mood swings to blood sugar imbalances, hormone imbalances, weight gain, poor memory, and much, much more. So that's just a quick little recap of part one that we did a couple weeks ago. And we really learned, we need 7 to 9 hours as adults. And what happens during sleep, is really that essential cleanup that takes place, restoring and repairing the brain. Our brain encodes and solidifies memories during sleep, which is obviously so important. Here we got a lot of people coming in again. Sorry. Welcome, everybody. We're just getting started with a little recap of what we talked about 2 weeks ago and why we need that 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. From that cleanup that happens, that memory, long-term memory, tissue and healing growth is so important during sleep. Immune cells function highest during sleep hours, which is, of course, really important to our long-term health. And then detoxification of the brain and other parts of the body. More space is created between the cells for the removal of toxins. I'm gonna get one more person in here. Hello. So a lot's happening while we sleep. We know that, right? And we also talked about a few of the biggest tips from the experts. And these are, we could spend the entire time together today just really talking about these tips. And I shared a lot of these with you last time, but I've also added a couple more to this list that are super important. So the first, and I listened to an entire podcast about this yesterday, about staying consistent with your bedtime and your wake time and everything in between. So like that schedule, and I keep thinking back about when I had really young kids and we're trying to get our young kids on that schedule, that sleep schedule and the eating schedule to ensure that they're at their happiest and healthiest. Well, that really stays consistent through our entire life, right? But that consistent bedtime and wake time, but also eating time. And when we exercise can really, when we change that up, can really hinder your body's ability to adjust to a stable circadian rhythm. So most important thing, keeping that real consistent bedtime, wake time, eat time, exercise time, really, really important. Keeping your room cool or cold at night is really important. 65 degrees Fahrenheit is like the average. Making your room really dark with blackout curtains, if possible, is important. This next point, limiting caffeine, alcohol, and late meals. We could talk about this for a long time as well, but Caffeine, if you're drinking caffeine, making sure you cut that off by noon is really important. Alcohol, we think it's going to help us fall asleep, but really it's not going to give us a good night's sleep at all. So, limiting alcohol a couple hours before you go to bed is really important. And then late meals. So if you think about like how you're digesting your food, if you're eating really late, you're going to get that blood sugar spike in the middle of the night that will possibly cause you to wake up. So think about when you're eating and cutting off your kitchen and closing your kitchen hours before you go to bed is a really important consideration. Something we talk about all the time, whether it's your overall mental well-being or talking about your stress and sleep, is shutting down anything with a blue light 1 to 2 hours before your bedtime. And that means computers and phone, tablets, and TVs. Shutting off that blue light is really important to getting a great night's sleep. Creating a calm and soothing environment. Creating that sleep sanctuary, like investing in the best mattress and bedding that you can afford is important. But just, having that bedroom and that bed that is just for sleep and is really inviting is a great tip. Also creating some white noise, whether it's a white noise machine or a fan or something like that, can be helpful to a lot of people. And then this last point on here is what we talked about last time, is really creating that morning routine. And today we're going to talk about creating an evening routine. So I know you guys aren't usually up for discussion, but I'd love to open it up right now and see if anybody took any of the tips that we talked about last time and put them into action. We know that people who are struggling with sleep are really probably doing something in their daily lives that they don't realize is impacting their ability to sleep at night. So creating the morning routine will help set their circadian rhythm and then improve your overall sleep. So the things that we talked about last time was, waking up at the same time every day, exposing yourself to the first morning sun, meditating, drinking water, exercising early, making your bed, journaling, spending time in nature, and breathing exercises. So does anybody want to share if they tried any of these tips or just really became aware and mindful around their routine in the morning? Just kind of opening up if anybody wants to share. You don't have to, but love it if you would.
This is Tracy. I just purchased a journal, so I'm waiting for that to actually come in. And my husband already sets the temperature when we're sleeping auto, but I can't quite get with that when I have to go to the bathroom early in the
morning. That's okay. So the next thing, Tracy, is the heated floor, the heated tile floor in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you set that to honest to God, we redid our bathroom, and that was an extravagant upgrade, and it is the best thing I've ever done. So you get in on that tile floor in the morning and it's toasty warm. In the winter, it feels amazing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're redoing a bathroom, I highly recommend. But yeah, it does feel so much better when you're cooling it cool at night. And there's a lot of other things I found, like a chili pad, and there's a lot of products on the market to really help your room be cool. And if you're a hot person and your spouse or significant other is a cool person and trying to find that perfect temperature for you both, and can be difficult, but there's definitely products out there. Well, sharing. Does anybody else have anything that they've tried that has been helpful? All right. I'm going to mute. Try and mute those people that are not muted. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, well, continuing to work on trying, some of these things, and over time, you might try journaling in the morning and say, you know what, I really feel better journaling in the evening. Or even the breathing exercises, maybe first thing in the morning doesn't work, but midday works great. So just keep trying those things for the morning, and I'd love to hear from you guys and see what really sticks. So I like this. Very few people go from 0 to 60 in the morning and just like leaping out of bed, right? Creating that morning routine to help you set your circadian rhythm and kind of ease yourself into the day is just like the most pleasant way to start the day. And the same thing goes, like at the end of the day, very few people can go from 60, like, okay, we're doing, and just like collapse into bed and expect to fall asleep quickly and stay asleep. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is really creating that evening routine to help ease into a sleepy state and promote a good night rest. And I have 11 tips for you guys today on what that evening routine could look like. So the first thing that I have here is dimming the lights when the sun goes down. And a lot of people say, and there's been research on like how our sleep patterns have changed over the last 200 years with the invention of the light bulb, right? So the light lets us be awake and in waking hours all 24/7, but to dim the lights when the sun goes down can really help promote that sleepy state. And ease you into the evening. We've mentioned this before in like creating your own sleep sanctuary, whatever that looks like to you, but just making your room that place that you want to go that feels good and comfortable, and removing all electronics. And that's a hard one for a lot of us, especially if you have teenage kids. Hello, you want to have your phone right next to your bed, but doing whatever we can to eliminate the electronics in your bedroom will be so helpful. Taking a hot bath or shower that just cools down your core temperature can be really helpful for a lot of people. Also, prepping the night before is important. So, the night before you go to bed, you want to, think about what you're doing the next day. If you have young children, do you want to get their clothes out? Do you want to get your clothes out? If you are going to the gym, getting your things together so that you're not thinking, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, but just really being organized the night before for that next day. Next thing, change into your pajamas, like get into your nighttime clothes. That makes you, of course, feel like jumping into bed. Brushing your teeth and washing your face. These are obvious things, but just incorporating them all into a bigger routine is what we're getting at. Rubbing magnesium oil onto your feet. There's a product that I use called Ease. EASE that you can find on Amazon, and it's just a magnesium oil. It's just a really nice little ritual that helps you fall asleep. Also, lavender is a nice essential oil that you can incorporate into your bedtime routine, and has just a really soft, calming smell, and again, just can really help you fall asleep. Reading a book, a real book, as opposed to reading on your computer or your phone or a Kindle, that eliminate, so that you don't have that blue light. But reading a real book can also stimulate falling asleep. That's one thing for me. I read a book every single night. Even if I am so tired, I have to read one paragraph. One paragraph will set me asleep. So you also want to think about the kind of book you're reading when you fall asleep. If it's like this murder mystery kind of book that escalates your heart rate when you're reading it, you might want to choose something else for when you're falling asleep. here's this option for you, Tracy. So if the morning routine journaling doesn't work, try it in the evening. Whether it's morning or evening, kind of putting your thoughts on paper can be a great exercise. Also, like, relieves a lot of tension. If there's a lot of stress in your life, getting those things down can really help you fall asleep. And there's lots of different relaxation techniques, whether it's meditation or deep breathing, that can help you with falling asleep. And then also on the reverse, when you wake up in the morning, they're also great. But we talked last time about the 4-7-8 breathing technique. I seriously do it in the morning, in the evening, and 10 times during the day. Before this call, I did 3 rounds of it. So incorporating those things, morning, night, and in between are always great for you. There are so many amazing resources online for sleep. So, I'm sharing just a few things in a short amount of time, and it's amazing to me. I'm so glad that so many of you are here. It just shows me that that you're concerned about your sleep, or you're interested about your sleep. That sleep is important. And there are amazing, amazing resources. I love Dr. Mark Hyman. He's a functional medicine doctor. And I listened to, he legitimately had a podcast this week on sleep. And I went to just go see some of his show notes on, the things that he is recommending, and it's exactly what I'm sharing with you today. But he does a whole 8-part sleep masterclass that is free, that you can go online, and if you want to get more information, I would recommend that. There's obviously tons of good books. The 8-Hour Sleep Paradox is also a great resource, especially for people who are interested in learning about sleep apnea. And that's one thing. If you do feel like you have sleep apnea, I would definitely get tested on that, because that could be just, getting that in check could put you off into like a whole new sleep dreamland. So definitely recommend that. Udemy has tons of classes, tons of master classes. And so does Matthew Walker, who I mentioned last time, who has this amazing book called Why We Sleep. He has a master class on sleep. So again, tons of great resources. If this is just like a tip of the iceberg, a little bit on sleep, and there are just so many great resources out there that I really encourage you to look into, and always reach out if you want to talk about what are some good resources. But if you feel like these strategies are not working for you, I would really encourage you to, see a functional medicine practitioner who can determine whether things like food sensitivities, or thyroid problems, or menopause, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, heavy metal toxicity, stress, or depression are interfering with your sleep. So that could be a next step if you're interested. So sleep, we cannot really be entirely physically or mentally healthy if we don't prioritize our sleep. So the quality of our sleep and the quantity is what rejuvenates us and gives us the ability to live vibrantly every day. So I really challenge each and every one of you to take a deeper dive yourself, create your nighttime routine and your morning routine to get your circadian rhythm in line, and I just really appreciate you guys all showing up for this, like, short, little tiny information on sleep. So I hope you thought that this was helpful and you like this shorter format. We have some really short 15-minute meditation breaks coming up in Tuesdays and Thursdays in November. So if you have interest in learning about meditation and having it be a part of your everyday routine, I encourage you to check those out. So reach out with any questions at all. And I really thank you guys for being here today. Anybody have any questions or comments or thoughts they want to share? I appreciate you guys being here, and have a wonderful week. And I hope to see you at our meditation breaks in November. So
Thanks, Kristin.
dreams, everybody. Look at that. I did it. I did it in 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kristin.
Thank you so much.